Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome from the Creative Arts Academy. The Academy was launched in September. We have been just the Creative Arts since 2002, which has been a theatre institute for 18 years, training children and adults. And thanks to the lovely resource people that have been associated with the creative arts, we have been able to launch the Creative Arts Academy in September 2020. So the lockdown has actually brought forward a lot of academic work and some very meaningful interactions that have taken place. Today, we are in the second phase of the Creative Arts Academy courses. The first batches of communication, theater, and writing have culminated, and I feel extremely excited to announce the launch of the Creative Movement department at the Academy by our very own Shubha Bangur, who's been associated with the Academy as a facilitator, student, participant, and a performer. I will give a formal introduction to Shubha Bangur, who's very dear to my heart. She is the head of the Creative Movement department, and she completed her master's in applied psychology under the University of Calcutta, specializing in industrial psychology. She completed her PG diploma in school counseling and trained in dance movement therapy from TIS. She completed her Orisi Prabhakar from Prayag Sangeet Samiti, Allahabad. In 2015, she launched Catharsis, emotional release through movement for the body, mind, and soul. And she is brilliant at it. She won the 2018 grant from Marian Chas Foundation, American Dance Therapy Association, launching Through the Eyes of Dance, a documentary on the world of dance movement therapists with the visually impaired children and young adults. I've personally seen the film. It's been done. It was made by Lubdat Chatterjee, who is coming up as a very fine documentary filmmaker, works a lot with the dancers. And it's a very beautiful film, which all of you hopefully get to catch up on very soon. She is currently the dance movement therapy facilitator at Care Continuum, guest lecturer at the Rabindra Bharati University for Performing Arts Therapy, guest lecturer in school counseling, Calcutta University, and a dance movement therapist at Mahadevi Birla World Academy. Welcome, Shubha. And today you take over as uh, the head of the Creative Movement Department, which is a very beautiful position, I feel, very challenging and exciting all at the same time. I'm personally feeling very excited because I know the moment I get some free time at hand, I'll be barging into your department and on the floor with you. So over to you, Shubha. How have you been imagining the department, conceiving it? What do you want to bring forward? First, let's talk about a little bit about the department, and then we will come to the course that we are announcing online, which starts next week. Over to you.
Thank you so much for showering me with lots of love always, Ramanjeet ma'am. And it's an honor to be heading a department at the academy because I started as a student, and now to be given this privilege to hold such a position, it's definitely filling me with a lot of pride and honor. As you said, you want me to talk a little about the Creative Movement department. This department, when I visualize this department and the activities of this department, I look at movement not just as a functional aspect. You know, we need movement to carry out our day-to-day activities. We need movement to go from one place to the other. We need movement to maybe pick up a cup of coffee and have a sip from it. But this department is looking at movement in a more expressive, in a more communicative, and in a more creative way. So here we are really trying to understand the essence of movement, to understand the importance of movement in our lives. uh, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially. So movement is being given a lot of importance holistically. And this department is going to encourage people to connect with their bodies. That's my main vision. Because what is happening in today's world is everyone is getting in their heads. Everything's becoming too mechanical, too scientific, too logical, and too academic. But what happened to feeling things in our bodies, right? So this department has that vision that they want people to start, okay, you can be here in this space, but you need to also be here to be able to actually feel things in totality, because you cannot feel things in totality if you're just up here. So the first aim or vision of this department is to get people connected with their bodies, to get people to understand their bodies, and to know how their bodies function, and also to understand how we communicate with our movements. So yes, we're looking at movement not just in a dancey way, but we're looking at movement in a very functional, healthy way that's going to help us live our lives better. So yeah.
Right. I mean, if you see the Indian tradition, you are trained as a Odissi dancer, and all our classical dance forms, or even many other traditions of yoga and everything, we talk about that the full balance is created between mind, heart, and body. So the body has all these chakras within us that, and we need to awaken all of them. Any chakra, if it's like in a dormant state, is sleeping, creates the imbalance of the salts also, if we study it scientifically. So, and you have been studying it scientifically because you've been looking at the psychology of it, how it affects mental health, and a lot of other stuff. So, my next question is based on that. What do you think? And of course, we are not talking of creative movement as, the word therapy. We are refraining from
Yeah.
using that, because for us, we just want to widen the whole scope, I would say, because therapy
Yeah.
has its horizons but also has its limitations when we use the word, because these days I feel a lot of times we get binded by the words which should release us or give us freedom. We get actually binded because the connotations are different. So
Yeah.
the we are using it as a free flowing term, and yet we are going to look
Yeah.
into the scientific aspects of it, just given the background and history where you come from. You've had a training in classical dance, you've had a training in creative movement therapy, you've studied psychology of it. So what do you think, how does it help a person find a balance, a soothing feeling, find a balance within the body, just feel as if everything inside has reawakened or just awakened, you know so would you like to share something about that, the balance that the creative movement helping us in creating a balance within our mind, heart, and body? Over to you.
So the balance, as you mentioned, it comes when the body, mind, and soul are in sync, right? And the point of engaging in movement and connecting with movement is so that we figure out this mind body connect. So as you said, what is the science behind it? We also need to understand the science behind it. The science is that our body and minds, they're interconnected, and if you work on one aspect, the other aspect will also get impacted. And that has been my foremost training in this field. When we look at dance movement therapy and we look at the principles of dance movement therapy, we do study that there is this immense connection between the body and mind.
Yes.
So and another thing is that our mind is something which is so abstract, right? We cannot see our mind, we cannot feel our minds, but our body is something which is more physical, it is more observable. We can touch it, we can feel it, we can see changes happening in our body, right? So when we start working with our bodies, it is of course a more easier medium to delve deeper and to figure out and find that harmony and balance within, because our bodies are going to give us that proof that yes, things are happening, things are happening externally, and hence things are happening internally. So how do we find that balance? When we start building resources, we all need to start building body resources. And when we start building these body resources, we start getting into that state of, okay, I am in a situation which is maybe creating that disbalance, but I know how to get back to the equilibrium. I know what I need to do with my body to find that balance within. So when we find that balance externally, we are ultimately finding that balance internally.
Yeah. We kind of create a sync with the inner, uh, our inside, and there's a kind of connection, there's a connectivity between the body, mind, and soul within. My next question, there's a question on Facebook which says that, do we need to know dance? And do we have to be a dancer? I will just take a little bit of background over there, that what you're talking about balances, and we talked about Indian tradition. Are you going to do it in a fun, playful manner? Some creative exercises that you've devised over the years, or you going to use some very codified forms that some people may find difficult, or they may need to know a certain kind of grammar, physical grammar, to learn that. So what is your methodology over there? Are these creative fun exercises, or some very codified or tough grammar or form that you have developed? How are you going to execute it?
So the reason why it's called creative movement and not creative dance is because there would be no dance taught in this. So I have my training in Indian classical dance, but there would be no Indian classical dance or no kind of dance form being taught here, because the moment when it becomes dance, it becomes very technical. It becomes more of grace. It becomes more of performance, right? So that aspect takes another journey altogether. And your goals have to be very, performative, more audience centric, right? But here we are looking at connecting with ourselves. It's more inward rather than external or outward. So when we look at the word movement, we look at basic general movements. We are not, so when I'm talking, right? So this is also movement. And I will consider this to be a very, very important part of my expression, right? So in creative movement and in the course that is going to happen, we're not going to be looking at dance. So people who don't know how to dance, it's absolutely okay, because all of us know how to move. And that's what is important, that we know how to move. And of course, there'll be a lot of fun, playful, creative exercises that will be done with the participants that will very, very easily connect them to their bodies. And they will not feel threatened. Okay, I have two left feet. Oh, I'm very awkward
right
with my body. I don't know what to do. But that's not the point. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I was interrupting. Yeah. Are you finished?
No, it's okay.
Yeah. My question was that, let's say I've had a very tiring day online, and my body is feeling a bit, this kind of nervousness that it feels when you're too much with these laser rays and everything. But so how, give me an example of an exercise that you would like me to do, even if sitting on the chair. What will be the first impulse that you would ask me to do or imagine, or you and I together can do, that would help me travel within? What kind of examples that people can look forward to?
Okay, so you shared that you're feeling a little shaky with all this rays that is coming to you, and you're not feeling too settled, right, physically. So let's start off where we are right now, right? So how would you via your movements show or express how you're feeling right now? So if you talk about being unsettled, how would you show physically how unsettled feels in your body? Okay,
like this. Yeah.
So that there's a lot of, there's a lot of finger movements that's happening, right? So Vibration, yes. So if we could be here, and just keep the vibration, the movements of the fingers, feel the state we are in right now, acknowledge the state we are in right now, maybe expand it to different levels and different directions, and make the vibration bigger and more expansive. Yes, just to be in this state, and then slowly getting it back to the center, and slowly bringing it to a more slower pace, to a more controlled pace, to a more soothing pace, getting it more close to your body, close to your core, close to your heart, engaging in a little bit of self-massage, self-soothe. Connecting your breath with this.
Lovely. Already feels so nice. Okay. All right. So it's very close to Shubha what I do in my theater sessions, as you must have experienced too. That when we come from outside or even this kind of online space, our body and mind are almost in jitters and these small, not very soothing, and mind is all over the place because there are so many things going on. So I think a kind of physical rejuvenation, sometimes even exhaustion. In theater, I take my students to an extreme exhaustion where you almost feel a calm numbness and you can start from a shunya. I almost had that kind of experience. It was beautiful, and I'm sure our viewers who are watching, they can really understand that how small impulses will be evoked from within the body. Now, who are the people who can join Shubha? I know that you've mentioned 16 plus age group, but are we looking at youngsters, mothers, men, corporate people, business people, or just creative people? Who are the people do you think should look forward to joining the course?
So this particular course, of course, has its age uh, limits, where we're looking at 16 up and where we're not looking at children. So this particular course, of course, is for adolescents, young adults, and adults. But the fact that it's creative movement, again, movement and not dance, and because movement is universal to all age groups, to all genders, to all religions, to all sections of society, be it whatever profession you're in, this course can be applicable and useful to everyone who want to get aware of their bodies, who want to understand how they are communicating non-verbally every day. So more than a verbal communication, there is non-verbal communication that is happening in our daily lives. And all these forms of communication, they're reflecting who we are, right? Our histories, our entire histories, how we're feeling emotionally right now. Like we just did this activity where you said you can feel a tremor because of the kind of fatigue you're feeling because of this online medium. So all this is what? This is reflecting how we're feeling internally. Our physical state is reflecting how we're feeling internally. So this is for everyone who want to understand themselves, because we need to first understand ourselves to be able to tackle life's problems or life's challenges better. And it brings about benefits not only intrapersonally, not only within ourselves, but it starts channelizing to our relationships as well. It starts channelizing to our professional life as well. Because when you're engaging in a creative medium, the whole process of engaging in a creative medium is very therapeutic. And because it is looking at flexibility, looking at spontaneity, looking at openness, that creates energy shifts. And when you start feeling these energy shifts, it starts trickling in your work areas. It starts trickling in your relationships. So yes, this course is for anyone who wants to understand themselves, their movements, their non-verbal language, expand their movement vocabulary, be able to better move and communicate with their bodies, and definitely feel more confident about themselves physically. So yes, it's a very general area and a very general goal that I'm looking at. Not too specific for this particular course. Maybe in the upcoming courses, I might do something for teachers and how they can use it in somatic education with their students.
Which we are planning anyway.
I could do it with older adults. Yeah, so things could be specialized, but for this time, it's on a more general scale, on a more general level.
My study of recent years has shown me, my observations have brought this forward, that the men are, I find that they are a little more closed, especially men in corporate world, or I'm not talking so much about the creative men who are involved in the creative world, but more in the corporate world, business, industry, and um, how do you think they can feel comfortable, or do you think you will make them engage in a way where they feel comfortable being a part of it? Because they're very inhibited, they are in fact shy even coming up for a course like this, because they know that they might be awkward with their movements. So awkwardness is something that people are trying to struggle with, that, oh, I don't want to go there because I don't want to look awkward in front of other people. So how will people negotiate with that inhibition that they have?
So definitely, I've also experienced this over the years that I've been working in this field, that men generally don't come sign up for things like this. There are very, very, very few men, unless it's done in a corporate setup and they need to take part in it.
Yeah, whereas I feel that they really need to step forward, and because there's so many emotions actually pent up within them. Even verbally, they find it difficult to express those emotions. They hold on, they keep it within themselves. And physically, also, it is difficult for them to manifest those emotions and indulge in these kind of activities. So, yes, you were saying?
So definitely, it's because of the conditioning that they have been, I think, born and brought up with in our society, where they're supposed to be all reserved and not supposed to be emotional. Women are seen to be the emotional ones, and they are supposed to be the ones who are in full control of their emotions and who cannot express, who cannot cry. So because of those, again, I said our bodies are holding our histories, right? So because of those layers of conditioning and those layers of being born and brought up in that way, that is the constriction that you're seeing physically in them. When you say that they're very constricted physically, you don't see them really, expanding their bodies and, communicating the way we are communicating because of their histories. So it is definitely a challenge to encourage men to break their defense, because that's all defense, right? And it's a very thick layer of defense. So it's very difficult to get them to break that defense. But I have had some experiences and some interactions with men who have had the opportunity to break it and to experience what it feels to be free, emotionally, to be free spiritually, and they feel this immense shift internally in them. And it's not that they're getting emotionally weak. So they might feel that if you're breaking my defense, oh, I'll become emotionally weak and people will see how weak I am. That's not how it is. It's just that you are getting in touch with who you are. Because if I ask you, do you know yourself, and then you just say that maybe I don't. So you need this medium is going to just give you that gateway to just know yourself better and not be weak. So my appeal to the men who are watching would be that this is not an area where you'll feel awkward. This is not an area where you feel emotionally too exposed, because this is going to be a safe space. This is going to be a non-judgmental space. There would be certain, of course, ground rules set in the beginning, where we are going to respect each other's bodies. We're going to respect each other's sharings, and it's not going to be too threatening, because definitely directly talking about something can be more threatening than moving that thing. So it's not going to be too threatening, and it's going to be very basic. To just, if you just look at non-verbal communication, it's going to be as basic as that.
My appeal to the men, that take that plunge, come out of that shell that you feel towards your body or manifestation of emotions, and for a change, try expressing it, and you will feel immense freedom within yourself. But the challenge that we have posed in front of them, Shubha, is that the course is on Tuesdays, 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. And those who are working and do not have flexible timings, how are they going to negotiate? So I think my suggestion to them would be that please write to us. And if we have enough requests, or even if we have few requests, we will look into it to either create another batch, or make this batch happen on a day and time that would suit most of the people, including men and other genders. So next question comes about the physical fitness part of it. A lot of people, because we are also talking of adults, and these days even sometimes young, face a lot of physical challenges. How would a person with ailments cope up with it? How would a person who's having pains in joints and other places cope up with the course? Or do you think they'll be able to cope up with the course? Is it for them? Can they join?
So I would like to give an example here. So in the summer workshop that I did with your academy, I had
Our
a very
academy,
mixed
Shubha.
age group. So sorry. So because I just see you as like the pillar. So when I look at PCA, your face pops. Your face pops up.
Particle of that.
No,
go ahead, but please go ahead.
Definitely. I'm getting into the zone, and I will be calling it my academy soon. So yeah, just giving an example of the kind of group I had in the last batch that I facilitated. So we had a girl who was 18, and we had a lady who was 50 up. And it was so beautiful to have such a mixed group of, it was like ek decade mein I had like one person. Yes. And the beauty of this course is that it can cater to all ages and people with any kind of limitation, because this is so individualistic. It is because you are generating, the participant is generating the movement. I am not imposing a movement on you, because I might have a particular level of fitness and you might have a particular level of fitness. So it's not necessary that you would be able to do what I can do and I can do what you can do, right? So because here we're looking at self-generated movements, you are given the liberty to do whatever is comfortable to your body and in whatever limitations you have. So there were a lot of moments where we had to go down and we had to come out. And that lady was given her due space to figure out how she wants to move in the space. So there were times when she would just sit and do the movements instead of going up and down throughout the session, right? Whereas the younger ones explored all levels. So people with any kind of aches and pains, it could be knee pains or whatever pains they have in their bodies, they will not be forced to do anything that is going to harm their bodies in any way. So they can, suppose if people cannot sit down on the floor and do floor work, they can easily be in a sitting position on a chair or on a sofa and do the same movements in that position, right? So you always have that flexibility to engage in whatever movements your body is comfortable to engage in.
Right. Excellent. So let me just see and ask the team if there are any questions on Facebook. Otherwise, we announce the time and they should all. Okay, so it seems that more than the questions, there are some comments over there in the group. But all of you are welcome to write to us on Facebook or send us messages, or all the numbers that have been given. You can call us if you have any queries. We can put you directly to Shubha. You can talk directly to her, or one of the team members will try to address your query about time, date, schedule, um, any question about the course also. But hopefully, I think today the conversation that Shubha and I have had have, because we had been receiving these queries, so we thought let's have a conversation and share it with you live, so that your queries are answered. And I hope a lot of the queries have been answered, but if they haven't been, kindly write to us or call us. The course starts on Tuesday, 19th. We already have few seats that have filled up, and the rest of the seats are waiting just for you. So pick up that phone and give us a call, and also fill up the registration form, which is there on all the links. And we look forward to having you as part of the course. Any parting remarks to them, Shubha?
I would say stop being here and start getting here. And this is the right, and this is the right platform or course to just not be here and get here. So yeah, just love your bodies and
Travel
love the way it
within.
communicates. Travel with them.
Lovely. Excellent. And I will say once again that Shubha is one of the most beautiful and amazingly talented. I know I'm talking in front of her, but she's amazingly talented facilitator and practitioner, and someone who really understands each individual very well, and kind of customizes the exercises and course for each individual. So we look forward to having you with us very soon, and see you all there. Take care and stay safe. Good evening. Bye, Shubha. Thank you for joining us.